When it comes to your website, simply getting traffic isn't enough, yet many websites struggle to turn visitors into customers, leaving a lot of money on the table. So what separates high converting sites from low converting ones? Why do some online stores thrive while others just kind of limp along? Well, truth is, small changes can make a massive impact in your conversion rates. Number one, clarity of purpose versus cluttered messaging. High converting websites get straight to the point. Their messaging is crystal clear, helping users immediately understand what the site offers and why they should care. From the headlines to product descriptions, everything speaks directly to the target audience's needs and pain points. Now, low converting websites, on the other hand, often confuse visitors with either too much information or unclear messaging, right? The value proposition is lost in a bunch of just different jargon, maybe flashy designs, maybe irrelevant content. And remember that a confused visitor never converts. Now, a couple actionable tips here. Keep your messaging focused, concise, and aligned with your audience's desires. Use clear call to actions that guide visitors towards what's going to be that next step, whether it's purchasing, signing up, learning more. And to be honest, just giving you maybe some actionable, like an easy actionable right now, I would say open up your homepage, go to your homepage and let me know what you see, right? You don't know anything about your brand and you're just looking at your homepage without scrolling anywhere. That first snapshot, right, of what you see, I want you to really hit on certain points here, right? Number one, can people actually tell what your brand is all about by just looking at that little snapshot right there? Can they know like what types of products you sell? Can they get an idea for the price point of the product, right? Could they tell maybe who this product is actually for? Like, these are all the questions that you need to be asking by just looking at your homepage without scrolling up or down, right? And a lot of times, really, your logo is going to play a factor into this, the colors that you're using, the fonts, right? Whether you're showcasing the navigation bar there at the top, the navigation bar alone can give the customer great idea and great insights into what is it that you offer as a business. And that's why a lot of times, like when we see the hamburger menu for brands where they're sort of hiding all their navigation links, it's going to be a little bit harder, right, for the customer to at a glance be able to know and get the aha about what this brand is all about. So showcasing this information, right, is going to be very beneficial. Lastly, obviously your hero image, right? I think a lot of people tend to forget that that hero image really needs to speak about something specific, right? Maybe a specific collection, new arrivals, bestsellers, maybe you just dropped hoodies, but at the same time, it needs to be detailed enough with the call to action, with the headline, with actual models in the image to, again, signify and give the customer the idea about who you are as a business. Hey, in the past year, we've actually helped over 250 clothing brands boost their success, adding more than 10 million in extra revenue. And we've achieved this through top-notch website optimization, smart ad strategies, and powerful email marketing. If you're new here, I'm Christian Pignon. My business partner, Aaron Pearson, and I release 2 new videos every single week. Aaron dives deep into the marketing strategies while I focus on mastering Shopify. Okay, let's get into the second major difference here, and that is being either user-centric with your design or self-centric with your design, right? A high converting website, it's built with the user in mind, right? It's easy to navigate, it's fast, and it's visually appealing. That last one right there, right? Visually appealing. It's something that if you don't really have that designer's eye, like a lot of times it's going to be very hard to pinpoint exactly what it is that makes this site not visually appealing. I would say my biggest recommendation here with making your site visually appealing is just look at some of the major brands out there, right? Look at trueclassic.com, look at skims.com, right? Look at gap.com, right? A lot of these brands spend tons and tons of money making sure that their websites are optimized for conversion, and you'll start to notice certain trends about how they do their navigation, about their text placement, about the sizing of text, within the site overall. Like all these little things, the colors that they're using, all these little things add up, right, to the visual appeal of the website. So every element, for high converting stores are designed to create that seamless user experience. It's supposed to reduce friction on the homepage, on the product page, all the way through checkout. right? That process of going from discovery on the homepage about, oh, this is the product, going to the product page, from that single add to cart button, going directly just to, again, the single checkout button to take you to that next page. A lot of times the confusion, right, or the low converting websites give the customers way too many options, right? Or they have their aesthetics just kind of all over the place. And when it comes to having your brand sort of be a little bit of everywhere, a bunch of colors, a bunch of different fonts, a bunch of different things, it can be very confusing for the customer. And we don't want to, that's what we want to get rid of, right? We want to get rid of any sort of confusion, and the aesthetics and the process, right, to get to checkout are going to be very important, right? If visitors can't find what they're looking for, or are bombarded by maybe slow load times or a bunch of pop-ups, or they get frustrating by the checkout process, maybe there's too many options in there, they're often going to bounce out of there. So the biggest tip that I have for you here, if you're low converting in this scenario, is prioritize your website's usability. You want to test your website on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer, on different browsers as well. And you want to look into how you can simplify the layout, how you can eliminate distractions that could steer users away from actually converting. Something else that I like to also mention is the product page itself, right? The product page is going to be super important because that's where the magic happens. That's when the customer actually adds to cart. And that's where I think a lot of people we recommend adding information, right? You want to add information to the product page, but what you don't want to do is add other call to actions within the product page that will take the customer away from that golden add to cart button. So for example, let me just give you an example here. If you have a product page and it talks about the product, it gives you some reviews you may also like, maybe it has a recently viewed products, maybe you have, this is where it could get tricky, right? Maybe you want to incorporate right here within the product page a little bit about the brand, right? To try to incentivize people to know you a little bit better, gain a little bit more trust. Now, what I don't want you to do is have a section that maybe it's an image with text talking about your brand, and then right within there may be a button that says learn more, or like go to the about page or about us. That's where I want you to stop. Like, yes, include the image, include the paragraph, talk about the brand, but don't try to take them somewhere else on your website. If you have them there on the product page, keep them there on the product page, except for going to the cart. That's the only place you want them to go. Hey, if you're enjoying the content so far, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Now, the third major difference is high converting websites are going to be optimized for mobile versus low converting websites usually just stick around with desktop and they don't really pay attention to anything mobile. And in today's world, mobile first is going to be the best thing you can do to have a high converting website. You'll be able to offer responsive designs that look and function really well on smartphones. So this is actually going to ensure that no matter how much visitors, or where they access, or what browser, they have a frictionless experience. Now, low converting websites are often built with desktop only mindset, and that could result in like clunky, hard to navigate mobile versions, or maybe you have way too many floaty things going around. And that's one of my biggest gripes is like, yeah, sure, it's great to have your chat, it's great to have your rewards, it's great to have potentially even reviews kind of hanging along. And desktop, you have a lot of real estate. You have a lot of real estate where you can actually showcase those things. But when it comes to mobile, there's very little real estate to work on. And making sure that your site is optimized so that there is all these things popping up at once. And I've seen it where they literally they cover over the actual checkout button overall. So like people are not going to even be able to check out. They have to like maneuver their finger around to try to get the corner of the checkout button because they can't get to it because there's so many floating things going around. So my suggestion here is always, 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 when it comes to mobile, look at your website from an actual mobile device. Don't use the preview that Shopify gives you, because the preview is usually going to give you a longer version of how the site is actually going to look, depending on if you have a full screen on your computer. And so it's going to give you sort of a false representation of how your website actually looks. So my suggestion is always look at it on actual devices. And with your devices, you can actually have multiple browsers. So I would just ensure and check multiple browsers. And something else that people tend to forget too is opening up your site from social media. So a lot of times social media will try to keep you within the actual platform. So for example, Facebook or Instagram, you're clicking on a link from there. It will do like sort of a different preview. It's usually Safari anyways, but I also encourage you to look at it from, if you open up your Instagram app and maybe you have your link on the description or the bio, bio, clicking it from there and getting that preview, sometimes you may find things that are not working exactly as they should. And these are all the things that I want you to look into, and just don't ignore mobile optimization, because it can be very detrimental for conversions, especially if majority of your traffic are coming from mobile, which a lot of traffic tends to come from mobile nowadays. And the other biggest thing that you can do that's actionable is ensuring that you get a template or a theme on Shopify that has just good support mobile and has good features for mobile. Not all themes, for example, give you the ability to have a hero banner where you can do desktop versus just completely change the image for mobile. And we're even talking about, for example, the Dawn theme. The Dawn theme is great, it's free, it's amazing, it's fast, but it doesn't give you this basic functionality. Hopefully Shopify will fix this in the future. If they're listening, please make that update. But other themes out there do have that option, right, of having a dedicated image for desktop, a dedicated image for mobile. And lastly, I talk about this a lot. It's the difference between high and low is the high converting websites have trust signals in place versus low converting websites lack of credibility. They have a lack of credibility. So trust is one of the most important conversion factors, and high converting websites, they understand it, and they include clear trust signals like customer reviews, testimonials, security badges, money back guarantees, very easy to understand shipping and return policies, easy to find contact information, right? These elements reassure the visitor that they're making a smart, safe decision, that you're not a fly-by-night type of company. On the other hand, low converting websites, they often lack all these things, and they may hide important information like pricing or contact details, and they simply fail to provide any evidence that the brand is trustworthy, that there is a real human that's trustworthy behind this brand, right? Without these trust signals, potential customers are going to hesitate to actually convert, no matter how good the product or service is. Nowadays, it's very easy to sort of smell, right, which brands are new, which brands have been established and have a little bit more credibility to them. Now, actionable tip for you to boost credibility by adding social proof. That's one of the biggest and easiest things that you can do is do social. Oh man, I will not say easy. Sorry about that. I won't say easy. Yes, getting reviews is hard, but you need to get it set up now, right? Don't wait till I'm still, getting established and whatnot, and I want to be able to control the reviews. Like, just install something on your website that will add the ability to automatically send emails to request reviews from your customers. Do it multiple times. Don't just send that one and hope that they will actually leave you a review. Have a plan in place to potentially incentivize customers, potentially maybe with a loyalty type program where you can give them points if they submit reviews, or maybe some kind of offer, special offer if they submit reviews or images or videos, right? You have quite a bit of experimentation that you can do with offers for reviews, etc. And then beyond that, other actionable tips. We talked about policies, right? Return and shipping details. I think a lot of times people get in the way of including this information because maybe I don't offer returns, right? Maybe we just offer discount, or maybe we just offer store credit or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter a little bit, but I think at the end of the day, the customer will probably want to see more transparency than anything else. And to me, transparency is what's going to build trust, which is going to lead to higher conversion. So those are the 4 major differences between high and low converting websites. Now, a major factor that will determine whether you are a high or low is the amount of traffic that you have coming in. And if you want to improve your traffic coming into your store, then you need to watch this video next.